السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. My dear respected brothers, barakallahu feekum wa jazakumullah khair for the invitation. And the family is the building block, part of the building block of the Ummah. The individuals make up the family, husband, the wife, children. These are bricks that make up a structure. Then all these families are themselves bricks that make up a bigger structure, which is the Ummah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When I was introduced to Islam, first time, obviously I was raised in a Christian background, and in Romania, we didn't have so much interaction with people of other cultures. Even though we have some different ethnicities, we have like the Gypsies, for example, the Rajab, and we have the Magyar, the Hungarians, and the Romanians. There's some ethnic Tatars and Turks, but in the south, but I've never seen it. So we grew up in a very homogeneous, let's say, environment. I remember the first time I saw the Muslims was during the Bosnian War. And interesting enough, I did take Shahada with a Bosnian brother, Brother Kamal, may Allah bless him. But I remember very vividly when there was this newscast and they showed these men that looked like me, basically. So, mashallah, with nice, look and big beards. And I said, I thought that Muslims are like Arabs, right? Or like, I didn't realize that there's Muslims who are outside of this spectrum of ethnicity. And I did some bit of thinking, and as the time progressed, I was exposed a bit more and more. And then I remember the first time I've seen an African person when I went to Bucharest to get my visa for Canada. It was the first time I seen an African person. And, I was like, wow, it's so different, And then I went to Canada. And the first school that I was placed in was like a very multicultural school where I was, as a European, a minority. It was Pakistanis, India, Somalis, Lebanese. There's just so many Muslims. And I would talk to them. I would see them greet each other, saying Assalamu alaikum. I was like, that's one of the first things you learn, other than swear words from people, right? And I was like shocked because I said, they are like a multicultural nation. They have some shared language. And indeed it was. My friend would be talking certain things. I'm like, it was hard for me to conceptualize that he is white, yet he is connecting with them on a cultural level. You understand? And then I was introduced to the concept of the Ummah, of what is the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And to me, I was like, wow. And when I reverted to Islam, I remember one of my first trips in university was to Tanzania, Africa. And it was my second time, to hear Adhan live. And it was like early in the morning, before Fajr. And I heard the Adhan. I was with a bunch of like Canadian guys, a team we were doing some work on an orphanage. And it was very early in the morning. I heard the Adhan. Just jumped up, made wudu, went down. There was a security guard. So he said, Obviously, he was speaking Swahili. Couldn't understand. I learned a little bit Swahili just for communication. It was part of our program. Anyway, he said that it's not good, don't go. I said, I want to go to, in Swahili, he said, Mskiti, Masjid, the mosque. He said, no. He said, you are Muslim. He said, you're white. He said, no good. I said, it's okay. I said, I'm Muslim. So he basically called the car, a taxi, and then the guy took me to the masjid. Went to the masjid, prayed Fajr, and the guys there, the brothers there, said, Assalamu alaikum. Obviously, we couldn't really, just basic stuff. And then they took me for breakfast. And I remember coming back to the hotel, they're dropping me back, and the African Canadian guys were not Muslim, were looking like, wow, the guys hugging me, and like, yeah, it was like, it's like, he's like, where you come from? It's like, where'd you go? And like, how did you like connect with like the locals? Like, like we're scared, we're like, African, we're like scared to connect with them. And I said, this is the Ummah of Islam. This is the Ummah of the Quran, where, as the Prophet ﷺ said, that there is no fadl of Arab or non-Arab or white and black and so on and so forth. كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. And these are the individuals that come together and make this Ummah. And if these individuals are attacked, they're weak, they're hurt, they're broken, then guess what? You have a broken Ummah. And if you look at the enemies of Islam, when you look at the history of the attacks on all the Anbiya and on the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people always trying to destroy the foundation, the ethics, the morality, the connection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduces us to this early in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, when it talks about the two angels that were revealed. يعلمون الناس السحر, right? They were teaching people sihr. Why? What was the objective? Who knows the ayah? Was to make, to separate between a man and his wife. Okay? If these two individuals that come together for the sake of Allah, if these two are messed up, guess what? There'll be messed up kids, and a messed up family, and a messed up community, and then a messed up society, mujtama, ummah, and so on. And this is where you look, the attack is on all these levels. So young kids are attacked in their schools, the curriculum, the policies. We know that. This is something that everyone sees. Even conservative Christians and Jews, they see that there's a huge attack on the ethics and the innocence that Allah SWT is creating these kids. Because when they're born, they're born on the fitrah. But these systems from early, look at where they target you, at what level. And what's called in education the foundational developmental stage, critical developmental stage, where a child can be easily molded. So now you have grade 1, grade 2 curriculum talking to them about all kinds of weird stuff, right? And they call that freedom. And again, our community has seen that. Other communities have seen that. It is a reality. Question is why? Because they know that if they can reach at that stage, after that it's easy. No more investment needed. Just get them at the right time. So the kids are targeted. School, 8 hours. Even in Islamic schools, a lot of people think that, okay, my kids are safe. And I haven't been a school principal. I've dealt with Islamic schools from Australia all the way to California. Like literally Australia all the way to California. Like East Coast all the way to West Coast. And in between. And even now, I'm consulting Islamic schools here in the States and India and so on. And honestly, like, it's not safe. Can't just, okay, خلاص then. This is Islamic school. Or here, Sheikh, this is the masjid. You guys have like probably Saturday, Sunday schools. Drop them off, it's all good. It's difficult. Because this penetrates on all levels. And kids get affected. So they target kids. Social media, TikTok, all these things. This is something they almost cannot escape. Even if you try to restrict, someone will show, something will be there. We're surrounded by so much that is almost unescapable. The man, it's almost taboo to say man today. It's like, oh, what do you mean? Right? It's like, people are scared. You say, I'm a man, bro. I want to be, rajul. Right? While this deen and this aman was carried on the back of rijal. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Nur, Rijal la tulhihim tijaratu wa la bay'un an dhikrillah. These are men that their tijara, their business, okay, their daily affairs, and all these things, they do not stop them from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But today we're scared. We're scared to admit how important manhood is. So we did this tour. We go around the world teaching men to be proud to be men. Good men. Back in, if it was your grandfather man, of course I'm a man. Right? Ask someone these days, Wallahi, it's ajib. I have clients who are confused whether they're a man or a woman. Yet they're men. But I tell them, check yourself, man. And they're still like, yeah, but I don't feel like. And they're serious. It's reached to that confusion. Imagine if your great-grandfather or your grandfather would hear this today, and they'll be like, yeah, there's some amongst us today that are doubting whether they're men. How shocked they would be. Imagine an uncle like someone like Pakistan or something, right? Or in Somalia, right? Say, Ammo, Chacha, this boy, he thinks he's, he will be like, what? You shouldn't have that. We'll be like, they could not. Yet we are faced in the 21st century, 2024, but people are confused. Because the society's told you should be ashamed to be a man. It's toxic. It's bad. So now men are afraid to be proud of their manhood. Right? Sometimes you don't see men being like, man, I'm a man. Right? Because being a man is something good. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided that. Guess what? He sent all the Anbiya and the Rasul, they're men. All of them. Give me one woman. Some opinion, one small, slight opinion, but it's refuted easily. All were men. There's a reason why. The Prophet, the last Prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of men. Okay? We want good men. We don't want bad men. I know there's bad men in this world, of course. We started wars. There are so many things that happen. SubhanAllah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is still, He knows. إِنِّي عَلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. When did He say that? When the malaika, إِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكُمْ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَعَلُ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قالوا أتجر فيها ما يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء الآية ونحن نسبح بهم ونقدس له قال إني أعلم ولا تعلم. So the angels were shocked. Who did he say? إني جعل في الأرض خليفة. Who's the Khalifa? The man. It's always been man. Okay, Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, yeah? بعد أبو بكر, بعد عمر, بعد علي, بعد and okay, Hassan al-Basri, was it? No, Umar al-Aziz, right? And بعد, and when was there a woman, honestly? Like, please think about it. Is there a Khalifa ever been a woman? What was the last Khalifa? Anyone know? Who was deposed? 19 what time? We should know our history. 19
or 7.
1918. 17, 18. Okay, who was he? Abdul Hamid, right? Okay, he was exiled.
Yeah.
Okay, between Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abdul Hamid, give me one woman who was Khalifa. I know that people think, what do you have against women? But I don't have anything against women. We love women, no problem, alhamdulillah. It's just that this is the haqqin, the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is in His wisdom, Al-Hakim, Al-Halim, He decided to choose men. Even though the angel said, قالوا أتجل فيها ما يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء. They'll make what? يعني الفساد. They'll make fasad. They'll corrupt. And they will spill blood. قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلم. I know what you do. Even though the man has caused so much evil, so many wars, but there's khair. Allah knows that there's khair still. Right? As soon as something bad goes, خلاص يعني, we give up. But there's khair in everything. You can find khair. Don't give up. Learn. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching us, teaching the angels. So it is, we want good, strong, righteous men. Yes, he will make mistakes. Yes, there will be problems. Yes, we're not perfect. But still, Allah chose the man to be the leader of the house. And if you talk about this taboo today, man, people are scared. Say, don't talk like this. My wife is behind me waiting, when I go home, she'll show me who's the real boss. I'm saying, Wallah, shame, bro. Wallah, it's shame. Wallah, it's bad. Because we don't. You know what happened to where it was yes. This is yes. Women used to be proud. Because guess what? Every single man was a Khalifa. And every single man was a prophet. And every single, except for Adam alayhi salam, came from where? From where? Yes, Baha. From a woman, from their mother. Who raised them? Who suckled them? Who gave tarbiyah? Who brought them up? Who created these champions and these khurafa, these anbiya? Mothers. But you see, the society messes the woman up. It says, why don't you want to be like the man? He's getting all the praise. He's getting all the spotlight. He's scoring all the goals. You should also go there. Look, show yourself here. Why should he only get the praise? Why is all about them? You go, sister, go, no problem. There's one opinion. Don't go. Khadija radiallahu anha used to be CEO. She used to be businesswoman. Ya akhi, Allahu Akbar. Khadija radiallahu anha was never mixing and doing these things. Wallahi, I challenge the sisters to study the seerah of Khadija radiallahu anha. I challenge them. And prepare your money and support your husbands. They used to support the Prophet ﷺ. Khadija used to spend her money for the da'wah of Rasulullah. And she was proud of him being the leader. Never did she say oof or this or that. And for that reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent salam directly to Angel Jibreel alayhi salam. And she said, Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam. As we say when we finish the salah. That's where it comes from. You even know that. And glad tidings of a palace in Jannah where there will be no loud noises. So the ulama say, the Mufassirin say, It's because she never raised her voice at the Prophet ﷺ. She was more rich than him. She was from very high position, from very big inheritance. But she never made them feel like, oh, look at me. Sadly. But it's not the sister's fault. They are getting corrupted. They're getting indoctrinated by these things. They watch some video, some sister, some counselor sister, supposedly divorce coach, I don't know what. Some psychologist sister says, this sisters, these brothers are narcissists, you know? They want to take over, they want to control you and manipulate you. And this is misogyny. And the labels come up, new terms. What is this today again? Right? Things that you've never heard before. Come up with these terms, these labels. And now the sisters are like, they come home, you are this, and you are that. And you're trying to manipulate. I'm telling you to wear hijab, yes, sister. You're my wife. Now you're manipulating me, and you're a narcissist, and you want everything your way. Allah, so hold me accountable. I'm telling you to just fear Allah. This and that, and I heard this video, and Sheikh so-and-so said, I am right. Sheikh who? Go, right? MashaAllah, 1.2 million followers, 90% women. Quoting only, hadith about, be kind to women. Of course, we have to be kind to women. Who said not to be kind? The Prophet ﷺ advised us. He advised us. He told us to take care of women, to be kind to women. He was the best. But people want to play. They want to twist, and they want to convince the man that he should be afraid, he shouldn't be the leader of the family, he shouldn't say he's the man, he shouldn't enforce the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the people are telling the women that you should be the one, and you should wear the pants, and you are exactly the same like him, you can do better than him. So now the sisters are confused, brothers are sitting at home, sisters are going out working. It's a big mushkila. Now the sister is changing. Because you have to understand, everything you do in life, everything has an effect on your brain, on the way you feel about yourself, and especially our fitnah is designed in such a way. There's balance and imbalance, right? So men are guided by a specific system. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells in Surah Maryam, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. The man and the woman are not the same. We have the testosterone, which just keeps going down by year by year. And women have estrogen. So our testosterone is going down, theirs is going up. Right? So there's a study. No, I'm not joking. Please research. There are studies now measuring palm pressures, hand shape. Women's strength is increasing when they're shaking hands, while men has decreased significantly in the past 20 years. They're looking at these studies. You'll find some of these studies of how things have changed. Polycystic ovary issue with sisters. Some women don't menstruate anymore, subhanAllah, because their hormones are. People say it's a food. A lot of it has to do also with the mindset and the behavior. You act like a man, you behave like a man, you start becoming like a man. And same with the brothers, slowly, they're becoming more feminine. Their bodies are becoming more like this, like women. You can see, I go around like women, stuff like shaving everything, and, putting oil and taking filter selfie now, right? Duck face, the girls used to do the duck face, now the men are doing the duck face. So things are switching, flipping. It is a big problem. And the thing is, these things are now looked at and studied, seeing the changes. But bottom line is that there's an attack on all levels of the Ummah, so that the family is affected. And we're all affected. Starting with myself, we have to understand all of us have somehow been affected. Compare our generation to the previous generation. to our father's generation. Big difference, yeah. And to the previous generation, our grandfathers, big difference. And to the one before. But sometimes I look at these older uncles, they might be sitting and looking at us and like, what's wrong with these kids, man? What's wrong with these people? How does it be like? You know? They grew up in like a war or something and seen and worked and this and that on the field. And you know, the guy, he bumped his hand on the door. I hurt myself. And the guys are laughing, came out town, right? But how does it be? So it's changing so drastically and it's hurting the Ummah. They want to destroy the family. And this is what we're trying to explain to people. It's not about who, this, that. It's about you being you and me staying true to your fitnah, doing the things that encourage your fitnah. If you're a woman, the things that make your femininity. Why women have to do boxing? Oh, brother, you're against boxing, stuff like that. Shouldn't women defend themselves? I teach my girls. I teach my girls how to do self-defense. If anyone attacks, but they shouldn't be in a position where they're attacked because I'm the one who's responsible for them. Huh? You know, it's either me or my son, and we're gonna break our backs and die for them if we have to. A man is ready to die for his family. Come on, isn't it? All of us. It's just in us here. And we will die, inshallah, any day, shaheed. No man is gonna like run away. The weakest man will die for his family in general. Right? So why should she be in a position where she has to box or something or do some moves? But if it ever happens, she has some moves, yeah? But to go now and be like European champion and North American champion and 5 times a week training and her muscles are bigger than mine and like, you know, triceps are popping out and she's like, yeah, I'm representing the Muslim Ummah. I will solve the problem in Palestine and this and that. You know? Yeah. And then the brothers call me. Assalamu alaikum, brother, counselor. My wife punched me in the face. Allah, I know it's happening. Not one case. Not one case. And the sisters call me. Brother, Allah, my husband is, and I can't leave for 1 hour from home. I'm going to my mom's house. And she calls me, oh baby, are you okay? I miss you. Oh, I can't wait to see you tonight, tomorrow night. Okay, I just left the home. I feel like I'm married to a woman. Leave me alone. I'm just going to my mom's house. This is a brother, I swear, like he's like so feminine. I feel like he's one of my girls calling me, you know, one of my sisters calling me on the phone. You know, sending hearts and emoji. I miss you, baby, tonight. I can't live without you, this and that. And she's like, just left an hour ago, brother. Wallah, I'm going to my mom's house. Just till tonight. What's going on? Where is the dynamics between the man and the woman? And kids are watching this, spectating this, and they're getting confused. Now they're coming up confused, and guess what, you know, they're gonna do. And we have right now, brothers, we're talking today with the Sheikh. 50% divorce rates on first marriages. 62% divorce rates on second attempt. 73% divorce on third attempt. And most people give up. Most people give up. So now you have people who are afraid to start a family. What's the family again? The building block of the Ummah. They're afraid. Or they've gone, they've been damaged now. And they don't want to try again. And, you know, they're like in their 30s, 40s, alone. But it's not good. To be alone, it's not good. People think that you're fast all the time. It's not easy. Fitnah is everywhere. So it's not good. But it's increasing and more problems. And no one really wants to talk sometimes about it. Brother, no, don't talk about these things. Alhamdulillah, everything's good. Inshallah, we'll solve it. Allah Kareem. no, don't talk, this is misogyny, this is bad, this is that, it's taboo. And things are happening, right? Things are happening, and slowly, next generation is going to be weaker, one after weaker. So we have to stop this. We have to fight. We have to protect our community, right? The imams, I always say, they have to remind the people. وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ ذِكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. The principles in the Islamic schools, they have to grasp their, to lead properly, to push back, instead of holding hands with these other people, a'udhu billah, for whatever, for flags of weird colors. We should be holding hands with people who have some connection to our morals and ethics. If that's what you do, you say, okay, I'm in here in the West and this and that. Guess what? There's communities who agree with us on these principles, on ethical principles. And that doesn't mean we have to go and support their stuff. No. But on this issue, there are conservative Christians and Jews who don't want their families to be corrupted, and so on. And maybe inshallah they'll come to Islam. But holding hands with groups that are calling for what? For men and women to whatever. How would it be done? Right? Hey, we're in America, whatever. But this is wrong. This is wrong. And if no one says it's wrong, what the heck are we doing? Oh, we have to be correct, we don't want to upset anyone. It's wrong, yeah. This is bad. This is corrupting our society. No, but everyone can do whatever. No. How do you think these people got to the point where they are? Oh, it's hate speech. Hate what speech? We didn't call anyone to be heard or anything like that. What hate speech? It is facts. We have the right to express our opinion. We have a constitution supposedly that upholds that. So no, we don't agree with these alphabet people. We don't agree with men being women and women being men and changing their gender and this and that. This is wrong. This is haram. This will confuse people. This destroys society. It destroys society. It's destroyed American society. It's corrupted the economy. It destroyed. People are confused on basics. Yet imams are afraid to talk about this and and give khutbahs about this. So the people are going, but Sheikh didn't say anything about this topic. So therefore it's maybe it's okay. Not to mention others want to go and start confusing people and say, wow, we can help them and they can help us and we scratch their back and they scratch our back. And I said, no, scratch your back alone. You take a back scratch if you want to. You don't scratch these people back, man. Okay? Hey, we didn't say go and punch him. We didn't say go hurt him, no. But we do not agree that we don't do this. We don't allow our kids to do that. You don't have the right to come and tell my child that he's a woman. I raised him, man. I spent all my money on. My wife went through labor and all the difficulties of raising him. And you telling me that I have to tell him he's a girl? How would it be? It's my right to raise him the way I want to, with Islam, because I'm a Muslim. And we have to be clear on these things.
The original fitrah. Let men be men. Let women be women. Let children be children. Let children be children. Why should they be indoctrinated? At the grade 1, they bring transgender, people to read to them books at libraries and stuff like that, and exposing themselves inappropriately to our children. Grade 1? Drag queens? Then in churches? Come on, man. A'udhu billah. No, we're not going to accept that. But see, if we all speak the same way, then we can have something to say. But if Sheikh so-and-so from YouTube and Sheikh so-and-so from TikTok says, yeah, come on. And it took these mashayikh 10 years to be clear about these with their document. 10 years, man. We've been after them and then brother, you're being this, brother, that. Come on, man. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe a bit less than 10 years. But the first time that they held hands with some of these people, and it was, yani, quite a few years ago. Now they're proud that it finally came up with some statement that clarifies this thing. I mean, come on, bro. The kids are already confused, man. You lost like 6 or 7 years of children, of youth who are confused. Sometimes the kids themselves who have gone on like hormone blockers and this and that will come to us and be like, Akhi, I'm not feeling good. But now, how do I stop? How do I reverse this? Damage is done and this and that. So the parent wants to say to his child, no. Guess what? Now they can almost jail you. They can take your children away. How? Where's the freedom? Where's the Constitution? Where is your rights? The problem is, if we don't speak the same language and work the same way, then it's easy for them to twist us. Even if there's no laws, just the lobbying, just the pressure will convince people, well, yeah, this is how the law is. No, it's not. No, it's not. People need to be smart. We need to go back to the fitrah. This is the only way. This is the only way to remove the weakness from us, inshallah, from our children, because if not, then things are only going to get worse. But husband and wife have to be on the same page. Cannot have the sisters fight their husbands and tell them, no, it's okay, leave him alone. He's just a kid. No, he's not just a kid, man. He's not just a kid. Sometimes they say, he's just a kid. He's just a face. Just leave him. Just this. Wallahi, may Allah have mercy on our parents and our grandparents, when they saw us misbehaving, man, they put us in our place. And we know as adults, alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah that they done that. Maybe at that time we felt it was hard and this and that. But it was, people come, trauma this, trauma that. But yahi, how many men in their 50s or 40s do you see that they're confused about their gender, really, from the Muslim Ummah? Maybe from the other people, but because they've been going through this for a long time, but from the Ummah. But the newer generation in their 20s and in their teens, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of confusion. Stay married sometimes and try to work things out with this intention, yahi. Not, khalas, divorce. Khula. Like the sisters now, they want khula. Everything. And these so-called sister YouTube counselors, just take khula. He's not treating you right. Why not? Why not? Why is he not treating? If he's not treating right, okay, we'll deal with it. Go to the imam, go to the people, we need to deal with it. No doubt. If they're not treating you right, haq mak, this is your haq. 100%. We sort it out. But in many cases, just don't work against your husband. The woman is so important because she gives the tarbiyah. If she's corrupt, she doesn't have the right understanding. She's listening to TikTok too much. All these different psychologists and different philosophers and counselors and all kinds of people come in. No Quran, no Sunnah, cannot even read Al-Fatiha properly. Just mashallah, just self-declared followers and this and that. And then they get confused. Don't work against your husband. The woman is so important. We men cannot do these things, especially when the children are very young. We don't have those soft skills that women have, right? We take more charge when they're a bit older, we're a bit harder, and they need that. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the stages of development. Where does it start? Where does the tarbiyah of a child start? Right there. In the woman, in the womb of the woman. That's when the tarbiyah starts, man. That's when the nurturing, the love, from there it starts. They hear, the kid, they can hear. The baby starts developing their hearing. The woman recites Quran, she makes dua. The baby reacts. The baby can feel if a woman is angry or sad or this or that. They feel the stress. What you're eating, he is eating or she is eating. What you're feeling, sometimes some of the research have said that the dream, subhanAllah, it's shared, that the woman dreams, the child will dream the same. Subhanallah. So the tarbiyah starts from there. Yet they want to attack it. What they're telling women, abort, kill the baby, a'udhu billah. They're telling women abort. They're trying to take it from there, from that point. It's your body, it's your freedom, your choice. If you don't want this, do whatever you want. A'udhu billah. And you know what though? When we reach that 35, 40, reality kicks in. And now the guy's like, man, what did I do? And the woman's like, what did I do? And they're like lost. Because in the end, your fitrah is going to catch up with you. It's it. What does Allah SWT say? فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you going? Where are you running? It's going to catch up with you. He's right here. So, let's not work against each other. وَتَعَاوْنَ عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى. Cooperate. Hey, it's not perfect. Don't expect I don't know what. It's not perfect. Don't expect perfection. Don't leave right away. Don't pull out. Understand the reality. There's too much fantasy in this world. You know? And that's the problem. Fantasy is here, reality is here, and the difference between the two is depression. Because they're so far apart. Everyone's this. And again, don't take it wrong, man. It's just an advice. Just look at the advice and how the Prophet ﷺ used to advise women. Okay? Don't expect your life to be like in the movies. Please. Okay? Because you will be very unpleased with your husband. Very displeased. Because it's not like the movies. Okay? He is a human being. Inshallah, he tries his best. But if you expect him to be some Romeo, Brad Pitt, I don't know what, super romantic, this and that, you know, and if you expect him to just be a man, then you will be and you'll be happy. Yes, he can try his best to do and understand that the woman needs that attention and so on, but don't expect him to be like what you've been seeing your whole life, because these things are not real. And if you expect that, you're gonna be unhappy. And then you will see some other sister posting her story that she's in some place, some coffee with little heart inside. And you'll think, why doesn't my husband do this? Right? It's not real. Right? And so also with the brothers, don't expect her to be like supermodel, I don't know what, you know, because men, we care about these things, right? Women care about the little hearts and this, you know, emotional attachment and the emotional language and love and attention, communication, paying attention, validation, right? And men will care a lot about also some attention, of course, but, exclusivity, obedience, and, beauty and all that. But also sometimes the guys, they want like supermodel material, right? He's a miskeen himself, But, so then he feels like he goes outside and he sees all these beautiful women and he looks at his wife, he's like, what's going on? But maybe if he doesn't compare, women are beautiful. Allah created them like that. We men are, alhamdulillah, not so. Yusuf alayhi salam, mashallah, and the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The other ones, illa ma rahim rabbi, But for a man to look good, he has to work hard, man. He has to work hard, yeah. But women have been given this. This is a lot of their values, from when they're born, yeah. You get your little boy when he's born. He grows up a little bit. He comes, he falls down, this and that. Ta'al Khalid, whatever, Come, go, right? But here comes Khadija. Habibti, come here, it's different. She's so pretty with the little ponytails, right? She's like, she just melts your heart. And this is how Allah created them. Subhanallah. So we need to understand these. And look how we deal with our boys, how we deal with our fathers know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Fathers know. The boy, yeah, you're proud of him if he like kicks a ball or like throws something or breaks a window, like, yeah, he's a boy, you know? But when the girl comes, you're like, oh, yeah. It kills your heart. You know, it melts your heart. Wallah, we die for them. We die for them. But let's uphold those traditional fitrah values. This is the solution. It's not some complicated, I don't know, intervention from United Nations or something like that. It is just going back to the way things were. People think that progress is good in computers, phones, calculators, this and that. You don't progress in the deen. The Prophet ﷺ left for us what we needed. Nothing. He completed this deen. Clearly. There's nothing more. Yes, even though it was 1400 plus years ago. Doesn't matter. It's applied today 100%. And whoever does not believe that has huge problem in his aqeedah. Huge problem. Okay, for these people, sadly, you say, well, you know, we live in the 21st century, brother, you have to adapt and this and that. Yeah, you adapt your pants, adapt your phone, adapt your airplane, whatever. No problem. Good. This is all good. Khair. We love, man. Alhamdulillah. Technology, all these blessings that Allah has given us, use in the right way. Tawakkal Allah, enjoy. وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. Don't forget your share, this dunya. It's all good and khair. But in the deen, we go back to those foundations. Okay? Those things will never change. And wallahi, when you read and study the seerah of the Salaf and the Tabi'een, and even the generations after, how they lived, sometimes when you go back, if you travel, and you have the chance to go some of the villages, where you go almost like back in time, you know, and you see how it's just so amazing. It's really, you know, when you have you go to certain places, like in Africa or East Asia or certain place in Arabia, like the villages, and you see how people still live traditionally, you know, and you're like, sometimes, man, I wish I would have lived in those times, you know, and away from this fitnah, subhanAllah, where people were just a man and a woman, simple love, simple things, simple connection, none of this wow, you know, just simple, organic, real, right? Now it has to be spicy, micey, I don't know what, this and that. If not, I'm not happy. Sometimes, you know, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided in His qadr to put us today here. We have some work to do, and this is what we call for, inshallah. This is what I believe is the solution. It's not a complicated one. It has always been there. It's not my solution. It's not Sheikh's solution or brother's solution. This is it's Allah and the Prophet ﷺ. It's been there. It's there. Like, we have the manhaj, we have the curriculum, we have what to do. We just have to try our best to do it, inshallah. Now, barakallahu fikum. We'll take some questions. I don't want to lengthen it too much. This is what I had to say today. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll address the issue of marriage, premarital. I know a lot of the brothers want to get married, but they're scared. We'll talk about how do you do the vetting, questions to ask, things to look for. Maybe brothers who are married already, how to help them to do better. Look, one thing that I want to say before we take question. Understand, and this is a problem again in our society, that if I'm standing at this table, it doesn't mean that I know everything, I do perfect things. And you know, sometimes people just write people off because they'll say, oh, but I know this guy, and you know, sometimes our own children, the imams, and they're worse. You know what I mean? SubhanAllah. And that's how it is. Okay? May Allah help us. Right? But it doesn't mean you don't take the knowledge. The Prophet ﷺ himself had marital problems. The Prophet ﷺ himself had divorce. Okay? And he is Rasul ﷺ. Okay, Nuh alayhi salam had problem with his son and his wife. Lut alayhi salam had problem with his wife. Okay? Yani they're better than us. We cannot even compare. I don't even want to say a number. So don't feel that khalas, if something happens that khalas, everything's done. But just let's do our best and let's try and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decides. He's the one who decided that Nuh alayhi salam's son didn't take the deen and he was drowned. He's the one who decided that the wife of Lut will stay back. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we cannot question Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about what He decides. Barakallahu fikum. If there's any questions, inshallah, we will address them and then we will finish, and I think Sheikh will. No. I think they're sisters too, right? They want to ask questions. You have a link or something? You can send questions to the email. Which email? Info at the Sunnah, at the Sunnah. Initiative.
Not just any Sunnah, the Sunnah.
The Sunnah. Okay.
Initiative.
Initiative.org. Info at the Sunnah. Initiative.org. You can send your questions there. If no questions, I think food, eh?
Obligatory announcements.
Huh?
After some key announcements, obviously.
Okay, after some key announcements. Now. Fadlan.
Question about, so you know, in the story of Lut alayhi salam, because they were the majority.
Yes.
Let them leave.
إنكم أناس يتطهرون. Yes.
So my question to you is, where do you see the progression of the Muslims, since we're the minority here in the West, against this, the LGBTQ community? Do you see, because they're the majority, one day they're going to say, you know what, you guys are the only ones with more left, get out of our land? And do you see that maybe there's a adab coming, because of what's happening?
Right, so the question is like, where do you see the Muslim Ummah going as we are minority when it comes against the majority, or people have all this opinion about the LGBTQ and so on? And the brother was talking about in the case of Sayyidina Lut alayhi salam, and how the people wanted to expel him because he was on the right ethics and morality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله. يعني it doesn't matter the number, as long as we stick to our things. It's all about quality. Okay? One man only, like Khalid, right? One man like Az-Zubair, one man like Ibn Umar radiallahu anh. One, it takes sometimes just one person. One person like Ibn Abbas. One person can make a big difference, huge difference. And that's why we need to really look in dealing with quality, investing in quality, right? Invest in quality. So I believe that things will, inshallah, can change for the good. And we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already promised this. It's just the question is whether we're going to be there or not. We're going to be on the right side or not. The problem is that the Ummah is split. Within the community here in North America, people are, if they hear this kind of talk, and that's why you see that people not really lean towards these kind of talks or attend. But if you give them a talk about like some, whatever, then it will be like, jam-packed. It doesn't matter. But that's what people like, right? Because it has become like a demand-supply thing, right? Let's see what's trendy, what's good, right? If you come up with something like that, you'll be very popular. If not, khair inshallah. So, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us. Yes. Okay. Good question. So how can Muslim or should Muslims treat those communities? You don't have to treat them like anything. You live in America, whatever. We don't agree with them. We don't have to mix with them. We don't have to help them. We don't have to scratch their back. They don't touch us. They don't touch our back. Yani. But teach your children this is wrong. Don't be like, oh, they're just other people and, we're all cool. Tell you that these people are wrong and tell them why. You need to be clear about why they're wrong. Not like just, yeah, leave them be. It's okay. They're this and we're this and that as long as they don't, there's no hurting, no nothing, no. You don't have to swear at them. You don't have to whatever, call people to do this or that. No. But you teach the kids and teach yourself, teach the communities why this is wrong and why we have to be away from it and just to be aware of it, not to fall into it, not to sympathize for them. The wife of Sayyidina Lut was not amongst them, but she was a sympathizer. Okay, she was ones who sympathized. So, we are very peaceful people, aren't we, mashallah? Very peaceful. Okay. Yeah. So, brother saying, how can you advise the people who just came as refugees a couple of years ago, let's say, and their kids are in public school? Big danger because, so for example, one community that I was dealing with recently, a lot of the Syrians came about 3 years ago. And subhanAllah, obviously the parents, they don't speak English yet. So what happens is there's a lot of these welcoming programs, a lot of social workers come in, they help you learn language, find a place to live, kids in school help with papers. And it sounds all nice at the beginning, like, wow, these people are really nice. And yeah, they're trying to help. But for them, their ethics are different. So in this community, subhanAllah, a lot of the young boys and girls got confused on this LGBTQ. Like the parents were crying. Like it was an epidemic. Because they said, we got so busy with, getting these papers together and finding places and trying to get some money and, make ends meet. And then we still have some family back home and we're worried and this and that under our nose, our kids obviously picked up English very fast. They got influenced very fast. And within 2 years, actually, we lost. Some are converting to Christianity. Some are becoming this and that and become atheist and saying, I don't want to speak Arabic anymore and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And weird stuff. And parents, mothers are crying. And so be careful. Do not just let things, khalas, okay, and you let the people are helping and so on. Do not. Just make sure you check your children as much as you can. You can do only so much. Talk to them. Talk to them about these things. Allah, you have to talk to them about these things. You cannot fully protect them. It's almost impossible, Sometimes we think, okay, if we keep them in, we don't do this and that. In the end, they're still going to somehow find these things because this is the way we are. This is the world that we're living in. But talk to them. Let your kids be able to come and tell you if they feel some confusion. Not like, astaghfirullah haram, don't even talk to me about this and that. Let them feel that they can approach you. Baba, I had this question. Someone said this at school. They should feel comfortable to talk about these subjects. They said this, they said that. A friend, I saw this. Someone showed me this on that. And they're confused, Talk to them. Let them be approachable. Don't just shun them off. No matter how busy you are, try to get them to speak to you. Now. No questions from sisters. Alhamdulillah. Okay, one or two more questions. Yes, ma'am.
A lot of the issues that you discussed were in due part because of technology and the way technology has connected people. And I don't really see that going backwards as we go forward. So how would you advise the future generation to introduce their children to technology?
Very good question. Very. So the brother said a lot of the issues that I spoke about, and he's very right, are connected to technology and how it connected people. So true. So he said, how do you advise people going forward and introducing their children to technology? No, that's a hard one because it's like almost like you cannot escape technology, right? It's like almost impossible, whether you're in school or whatever. Sometimes, Allah, it will be so amazing to just go back to pen and paper, right? And just do these things. But then again, the world is going a certain way, in the medical field, research, you name it, military and so on, everything is somehow linked to technology. So, I don't know, honestly, this one's is a tough one. I need to think over, I don't know. Very tough question. Very tough question. Any other questions other than Khalid? Right. Sheikh says like, have like gradual release, Sometimes from very young ages, give him something to watch or whatever, and that's it, right? You got little kids with their own mobile phones. And subhanAllah, I was reading some studies, and I can back it up even by clients, what they said. Sometimes the early exposure to very bad content, like adult content, is at the age of 9. Right now, at the age of 9. Imagine that. Like first exposure, some even 7. So it's very, very early. And they're damaging, horrible. No. Okay, we're good. Khalid, sorry, he had. So brother saying, how can you show or prove spouse that you are doing your best and maybe they're not grateful for what you're doing for them and the effort they're putting? Like if a person doesn't see your effort, then what can you do, subhanAllah? Yani, if you're doing your effort and you know that, some people are lazy, sadly. We have sadly, a lot of lazy men who don't like to work and just kind of chill and a woman is going to see you and she's not going to like that, man. Right? Because why? It's not because she's being ungrateful, it's because Allah created men as workers. It's our fitrah. And her fitrah is to respect when the man does that in general. Right? So if you're doing that and she doesn't respect it, then it's her problem. Right? Then she is being ungrateful. And the Prophet ﷺ addressed it very clearly. That's one of the reasons why some of the women will end up in hellfire. Okay, because being ungrateful. This is when the man does his part, of course. Right? That's what we say. Because I know sister will be like, oh my God, always about women. But that's what the Prophet said. I'm not saying that. The Prophet said that. Right? But the man has to do his work. Right? If he's a loser, he does nothing, then obviously, what do you think she's going to do? You're going to wow, mashallah, he's such an amazing guy. Right? But if he does his work and she doesn't, and the same thing, if she is doing her part and he doesn't appreciate or respect her, then it's a problem. If she takes care of the kids, she cooks, she does all these things, and then he goes and tells her, you're not working, or something like that, or you're not giving money, or this, come on, it's like not from her duties and from her fitrah. And you're not being grateful. Oh, you don't do this, you don't do that. It's gonna break her. So, do your part. Naturally, the other person would appreciate. If they don't, that is a big problem. How can you show someone, like, look, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. If you don't see what I do, you don't realize, don't appreciate it, and that is a problem. That is a big problem. Yeah. All right. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of you. Anything good that came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anything bad or mistake, it's for myself. Barakallahu fikum.